Can you really get that body that you want without steroids? Well, up to 8 million men in the US use anabolic steroids every single year. And these are just the guys that admit to it.
So the only logical conclusion is that steroids are amazing.
But why though? Because they work. Steroids are a genuine shortcut. In this video, I'll expose the biggest challenges around anabolic steroids. Starting with challenge 1, the temptation trap. Undeniable fast gains, and why no one, including you, is immune to the temptation of this new wave of steroids. Then for challenge 2, the response roulette. We'll dive deeper into how people differently respond to steroids and determine if it's worth it for you. And finally, challenge 3, the unspoken brain dangers. It's time to reveal those risks that often go unnoticed. Is it just the usual acne, gyno, roid rage, or is there more serious stuff at play? Well, let's see and get lean without the gym bro routine. So you open up social media and bam, there they are. 16-year-olds who've been working out for a few months and they're somehow bigger and leaner than you. And now it feels like SARMs, steroids and every chemical enhancement you can think of have just become a part of the normal fitness routine. But you're not tempted, right? You're just curious and you want to know a little bit more. So you go and do a quick Google search and guess what pops up? Good old Jeff Nippard, the YouTube fitness Bible, right? But hold on, because now your steroid journey has begun too.
The problem with steroids is that they work. Like, really work.
And that's the unspoken fact. No one's denying the results. But how much better are steroids than the natural stuff like creatine?
If you started taking 5 grams of creatine every day for a year straight, you'd add about 2 pounds of extra muscle. If you started taking steroids at a normal bodybuilding dose, you'd probably add about 20 pounds of extra muscle that year.
So yeah, it's obvious. Steroids crush natural supplements like creatine when it comes to results. But is the gap really that massive? Well, check this out. In this study, they split guys into 4 groups. One group took 600 milligrams of testosterone, and the other group took nothing. Then they split these groups again. Half were told to work out, and the other half were told to do nothing but sit around. And the results? Straight up insane. The group that took the steroids and they didn't work out, they built more muscle just chilling than the group that were hitting the gym hard without the steroids. So there you go, steroids plus no workouts equals better results than busting your ass in the gym with no steroids. But if you're serious about results without the steroids, I've got a free program just for you. 60 ways in 60 days to get lean without the gym bro routine. These are quick 2-minute daily emails from me, packed with a nutrition tip or a fitness hack that fits seamlessly into your life, making it easy to get lean on autopilot. You can sign up with the link in the description below. But is it really that simple with steroids? Because let's be real, this is a bunch of natural guys talking about people on steroids, and the research out there is pretty limited. So can everyone just dip their toe in, get a little wet and see amazing results? Or is there more to the story? You hear it everywhere now. Steroids, steroids, steroids. The fitness industry's done a total 180. Back in the day, everybody thought Arnold was natural. Now everyone in the fitness world that's juicing is laying out their cycles for you like it's normal. Transparency era? Or are they just scared of getting caught in a natty or not? Because let's face it, nothing stays hidden anymore. I've worked alongside plenty of folks on steroids. It's just rife throughout trainers in the fitness industry. But it's not just that jacked bodybuilder juice head type anymore. From Sam Sulek to Mike Israetel to Greg Doucette, no matter your personal opinion of these 3 guys, they're all very smart, articulate and successful, right? And that's where the problem starts. That temptation thought process is gonna shift from thinking that steroids were just for raging juice heads to, oh, these regular dudes that are just like me are using too. Maybe the side effects are overblown. And then even when people you trust say steroids are bad, don't do it, there's this little voice in your head saying, I don't want to be as big as them anyway. I just want to be a bit bigger and leaner than I am right now. So if I just do a little dose, I'll be fine. Look at them, they're fine after massive doses and long years of steroid cycles. But here's the fitness industry's dirty little secret. These guys, they're all outliers. Sam Sulek, state diving champion. Greg Doucette, bench press and sumo deadlift world records. Mike Israetel, overall just a ridiculously strong human. These guys, they were born to do physical things. They're not just the result of steroids. They're the result of killer genetics plus steroids. I've seen a lot of people in gyms that I know are on steroids and they don't look like you would expect.
Bro, why mess around with natural when you can get swole fast with just a little juice? Ain't nobody got time for slow gains, bro.
Yeah, well, most users, they're out of shape, they're overweight, and packing a lot less muscle than you think. So why is that? Aren't steroids supposed to be magic? magic? Well, like almost everything in life, steroids work on a normal distribution curve. Genetics are the real game changer. Some guys take a little steroids and boom, strength and size just shoot straight up. But others, they take the same dose or more and barely see any changes. But this isn't even the bad part. The bad part is what the guy does who didn't see the results that he expected. He's already in the game now, so he ups the dose just a little to chase that elusive body transformation. Otherwise, what was the point of doing the first steroid cycle in the first place? And next thing you know, months later, he's on crazy dosages just to look average. But if the side effects are minimal, is it worth it for just a short-term boost? Well, guess what else follows that normal distribution curve? The side effects. And those guys standing on that Mr. Olympia stage, they've got the genetics to handle the side effects too. Their levels of anxiety, acne, and heart issues are lower than the guy on the same dose at the local Planet Fitness. Life isn't fair, and thinking it would be is a joke. And here's the funny thing. The guys who see no results from steroids are often the ones that get the worst side effects. Epically bad combination, right? And if you're after results without the needles and nonsense, I'm Tim, a food scientist and personal trainer, now based in Austin, Texas. I specialize in helping guys hit 10% body fat without letting fitness take over their life. So subscribe for more. But are these side effects just surface level short-term issues like roid rage and acne? Or is there a deeper, darker side to growing those biceps a little bit bigger? You've seen it before. Crazy acne, massive gyno, and gym roid rage fights over absolutely nothing. But is this just hype? Or guys that can't control themselves normally anyway? Plus, your body, your choice, right? But hold up, because there's more to this story than a few pimples and a little bit of gyno. Because these guys, all in their 20s, they're all dead now from heart conditions. And they're not just one-off cases. Guys using steroids and just dropping dead, it's not even news anymore. But here's the thing, the acne, the gyno, and the heart attacks, they're the things you can see, or at least you know are lurking beneath the surface. I mean, most people know that steroids can enlarge your heart and leave you at a higher risk of a heart attack. But here's where it gets even darker. Steroids aren't just putting your heart at risk, they're robbing years of quality life off you too. We're talking long-term brain damage, psychological disorders, actual lowering of your IQ, and an accelerated brain age. There's just no free ride with steroids, even if you do dodge the acne and heart problems. You see, a man's brain, it continues to develop deep into his 20s, and there's a little bit of development that goes on forever. And steroids, they stop that development cold. Our brains, it's like our muscles, it's constantly adapting and changing, and steroids totally mess up that process. And why is that a big deal if you can just stop anyway? Because steroid side effects, they're not on a sliding scale. You don't take 1% of the steroids and get 1% of the brain damage. It's more of a threshold thing. And your threshold, it might be very low. You could take a tiny dose and end up with 100% of the potential brain damage side effects. So don't go into steroids thinking it's just a spectrum of side effects, where a little use means smaller gains and smaller side effects. Any amount could bring you side effects that you never bounce back from. And that's the gamble. But you can't split test your life. Screw this one up, game over. So here's the bottom line. You are not Jeff Nippard. You are you. So being natural for you is not going to look like being natural for someone like Jeff Nippard. He's been training consistently for years and he has elite genetics to go along with it. And even he battles that internal pressure to stay natural. So whatever you decide to do, just remember, most people get some manageable side effects. And some people skate by with no side effects at all, with an unlucky few getting slammed with crazy side effects that everyone can see. But others, that final group, they seem totally fine on the outside, but their brain is quietly melting away every single day. So while social media might have you believing it's just a little bit of gyno or roid rage, that's our short-term side effects you can eventually deal with. The real damage is happening where you cannot see it, in your brain. Ow. The very thing that you're using to listen to me right now and process what I'm saying is the most important thing that you've got. And it's what makes you, you. No one escapes that steroid trap without leaving a little bit of themselves behind. And like Ralph Waldo Emerson said, to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you be something else is the greatest accomplishment. So try and be satisfied with your natural gains. And for more coaching tips, watch my video here.